Why is Hakari dancing to this song? What you're listening to is called TUCA DONKA by Curse Devil, DJ FKU, and Scored, with so many edits and dance videos across social media that it helped this song to gain over 200 million streams. What makes this song so special that it got the whole Jujutsu Kaisen community doing the Hakari? I think this song's rhythmic and high energy vibe resonates with the epic battles and quirky character interactions in the anime. It's a groovy song, and I want to show you why. The genre of this song is called Brazil Phonk, which is a combination of two genres. Funk karaoke, also known as Brazil Funk or Bali Funk, is a high energy genre known for its heavy bass and fast-paced beats originating in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil! And Funk, a subgenre of hip-hop in the 90s known for its dark and nostalgic vibe. So how do we get that Brazil Funk sound? So take a rhythm and count it in 1 iena, 2 iena, 3 iena, and 4 iena. The kick usually goes on the first and third downbeat, whereas the snare goes on the and the fourth downbeat. I usually call this beat the boom cha cha boom cha cha. TUCA DONKA has a variation of this rhythm like and the drop has the same snare pattern, but the kick now plays it on every downbeat. This is what got Hikari's hips moving to. There's a crash cymbal playing on every downbeat and a hi-hat loop that fills between the spaces, so it doesn't make the beat feel empty. Now on every first downbeat, on each measure are two kicks layered, which creates an accent on the downbeat. This helps the listener to not get lost in the track. Now the melody of TUCA DONKA is really weird. Listening to the melody, we have 4 notes in this song: C sharp, D, F sharp, and G, and it just loops over and over. It may sound like it's in some C sharp scale, but it's actually an F sharp Phrygian, because 4 of the notes are in that mode. There's no chord progression in this song, and it never resolves to the key, giving it that weird, uncanny feeling. There's only one sound that's used in the melody, which is this donk sound in the intro. Then we have a bass line playing the same thing as the melody, layered with a brighter sounding bass one-shot sample. And that's pretty much 90% of the song. Having a bass line as a melody is not a new concept. Songs like Seven Nation Army and Under Pressure come to mind. Now, the way this song was able to create some variation was using the donk playing a modified melody at the drop, and another donk sound used as a transition effect before the drop hits. The same was done with the drum pattern, using the snare roll and this snare fill effect. There are subtle sound effects in the intro like this exhaust, white noise, and this riser. Here's it all together so far. Now it's not a real Brazil funk song without Brazilian vocals, with the intro starting off with these hey chants. Now the acapella comes from a phrase called, I'm gonna butcher this, Esuka tuca do. Excuse my Portuguese, I don't speak the language. From what I've read online, the word katuka do is 2 words combined. Katukar, which means to poke, and sokado, which means some action involving high pressure. Combining these words means something like heavy poking, which has a lot of spicy innuendo, if you know what I'm saying. And you pretty much repeat the word throughout the song. You have this on every downbeat, and this on every other beat. And you glue this whole track together with a bit of drum, and here's it all together. All these sounds that you hear come from my sample vault collection, Bagunça. There are 9 complete sample packs sound designed by me that cover all the sounds needed to make Brazilian funk. I use this collection in all my track analysis videos like the one you're watching here, and my own music. If you're a music producer looking to make Brazilian funk instantly, click the link in the descriptions, dogeda.store, and grab yours today. Now that we have broken this track all down, let's build it back up. The elements that make TUCA DONKA so groovy, the funky drum patterns, simple bass line, and spicy vocals. What if we took all those elements and made something new? Here's what I did. I'll start off setting the tempo to 130 since that's a very common tempo in this genre. I started off creating the boom cha cha pattern with slight variations across 4 measures and some snare fills. I added 2 layers of kicks, emphasizing the beat. I recorded a tambourine playing continuous 16 notes and have a crash playing every downbeat. For the drop, I changed the kicks to play syncopated 4x4 rhythm. I added 2 snares panned hard left and hard right to create width for the snare pattern. I added a cymbal that layers with the snare pattern and a couple of hi-hats. This big crash and this reverse crash. I added a little fill before the drop hits with these 3 toms, these hand drums, and this reverse kick. Oh yeah, I added a guy doing the boom cha-cha. It was something to fill in the beat. And here's the drum beat. I created a melody that only had 3 notes, so it ended up being in the key of G sharp minor. I'll be looping this. I started the intro with a donk sound that I made using Serum, and copied that melody for the bass pattern. And then I stack the layers. Stack the layers. Stack the layers. Stack the layer. And don't forget that sub bass. Yeah, don't forget that. And I added another one because I wanted it to sound thick with a bit of drop. Now, to make this track not sound too repetitive, at the drop I changed the melody of the donk to play something like whoa, whoa, that's going crazy. I got the piano playing the same thing as the bass line, and I added a real bass. Then I added this vocal lead playing a counter melody, added some effects like auto-tune, roar, some reverb, delay, OTT, and some drop. Then I added this cowbell, because it's not a funk song without a cowbell, and another one. And don't forget to make it wet. And then you want to stack the lay. This is what I got so far. Now I'll add this cho vocal as an intro. Then I got the Then I got the Now I got this acapella that says, which I found to fit perfectly with this track. I added some auto-tune, CLA vocals with a good amount of spank, and cut off some low end with an EQ. Now when I loop this section right here, you can hear that harsh sound. I like to use a de-esser when dealing with harsh sibilances. It basically compresses these sounds that makes it very less noticeable. It's not a Brazil funk track without those ad-libs. And that And to finish this track, I added some transition sound effects and impacts, put an ozone on the master bus, and finalized it with that. Here's what I got. The song is called Vai Tomar, and it's out on all streaming platforms if you want to check it out. Just look up my name, Dogeda. All the sounds that I use in this track come from my sample collection, Bagunça. If you're a music producer that wants to make Brazilian funk tracks like this, go to dogeda.store and grab yours today. That's all I got. Subscribe.